Hello everybody, it's me, Ghost Bunny, and today we are going to be reading KinnPorsche. We're currently on chapter 14. Oh my god, we're almost finishing the first volume. Feels just like yesterday we just began. Wait, how many chapters does this have? Let me check. I keep forgetting to check. We're almost, literally, this is oh my god, literally, after this, we'll have one more chapter left and it's done. It's this one and the next chapter. I'm scared. Pero, everybody, I have good news. I have volume 2. I have the digital version. Probably better for screenshots so I can share some photos with you guys. Pero, yes, I do have volume 2. I have the digital version, so yay! I was so scared I wasn't gonna be able to get it because I'm kind of low on funds. But the digital version is actually way cheaper. It's like what, 9 something, and it was $10. Yeah, so I have the digital version on Kindle, which I will be reading not now, but once I finish this one. So yeah, I will probably give a little break with KinnPorsche, so I can catch up with Case File Compendium. I think I'm a little behind on that one. Pero hopefully by the time I upload this video, I'm already a little bit more ahead on that one. Because I feel like I've been leaving that one way too behind. I don't know. But let's just take it to already. First of all, let me give my typical disclaimers. And that is that, 1, I have no affiliations with 7Cs or with, typical, I keep forgetting. Name. Beyond Cloud. I have affiliations with 7Cs Beyond Cloud or with Daimi. This is not an official audiobook. This is just us girlies having a good KinnPorsche time. I'm not a native Thai speaker, so I may make mistakes with certain things. That is not me trying to make fun of the Thai language. It's beautiful. I just do not speak it. I'm still learning. Still learning. One day I'll read this entire book entirely in Thai. Just you wait. Pero yes. Also, yes, I speak English, pero as you guys probably can hear, it's not my native tongue. So, yeah, I can speak it. Just reading, sometimes I get a little confused. You know, I put on my reading glasses. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am wearing glasses when I'm reading. I just didn't draw it on my little thing for some reason. I want to try, but then I'm lazy. You know, I should put a sticker on it. Pero yeah. Intro is already taking way too long, so let's just jump into it. We are currently on chapter 14, Falling into Place. That's a good title. Let's begin. Pete took a taxi home in the early morning last night. We played games until 2 or 3 in the morning, with Chai joining in from time to time. Chai was like, "What you doing?" Ha, loser. He finally stopped nagging me about quitting my job. It seemed like he understood my reasons for staying, but maybe he saw that I was tired and, he didn't want to bother me. I apologized and promised him I'd be okay because I wanted to cheer him up. "You guys want to play basketball?" He almost inviting us for a game, John said as the 3 of us came down from the sports science building, looking forward to after-class activities. Finally. Yay! Nah, not interested. I've got a long swim practice tomorrow, so I need to conserve my energy, said Tim, who was part of the swim team. He'd been selected to represent our college in a university sports competition, so he had to train hard right now. I'd gone to the trials just for fun and to cheer Tim on. I had no intentions of competing on the swim team right now, since I didn't have that free time to practice, because I was busy. I hate having a job and responsibilities. Ew, adulthood. Alright, I have soccer tryouts tomorrow, said John. Then why the fuck did you do it? Never mind. Porsche, why don't you go to judo practice? It'll make PB happy. I was required to practice in the judo competition. I often skip practice because I've been so busy lately, but PB didn't seem to mind. I told him from the beginning that I could join the team, but I probably wouldn't be able to attend practice regularly. Thankfully, he didn't complain much. I'll go, but right now I want to go back to sleep, I said. My arms still twinkled occasion my arms still twinkled occasionally, so I wasn't sure how well I could handle heavy impact. However, I was confident it would head I would heal Jesus. However, I was confident it would heal before the competition. Since the three of us didn't have any other plans, Sam eagerly, Jesus, I can't read. Tim eagerly asked us to have a meal together at the market stalls behind the university. Let's go check out the food stalls, he said, pleading with his eyes. Please! I'm hungry too. Hang around for a while. Porsche, stay. Come on, have a meal with us, please. Tom said, trying to stop me from fishing my motorcycle key out of my pocket. But I want to go. Stay with me, please. I'm lonely. I sighed deeply, wondering why everyone around me kept begging me to do things for them. The fuck? I didn't want to say no to Tim, though he lived in the dorms all by himself, and I hadn't had much time to spend with him lately. Hi there, a tall figure called, turning around to look at us as we walked past. I said nothing, smiling faintly and nodding my head as the guy walked towards us with a wide smile. Guess who it was? Stop guessing, you're wrong. It was actually Ken's cousin. You thought it was Ken? Huh? Give me my money. Hand it over. It was actually Ken's cousin. Brr, 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 brr. We'd met him at the restaurant in the mall. You guys remember him? The sexy man by the name of Vegas. Ring a bell? Better. It's better. That's the guy from yesterday. His name is Vesa. The fuck is John me? I'm also terrible with people's face and name. I have mild. I'm face blind. I say mild for my own self esteem, but I have very much face blindness. John is just like me, for real. Okay, his name is Ve something. John whispered to Tim from behind me. Veha? Tim replied, trying to remember his name. He didn't seem very confident. Hell, Veha! John greeted him loudly, not bothering to listen to Tim's objection. Vegas! My name is Vegas, the man replied. Get close enough. You know. Oh my god, it's Flan. The Hammond Bay. How did you almost guess my name? Embarrassed, John extended his hand to lightly pat Vegas' shoulder. Right, Vegas. I told you his name is Vegas. It's all your guys' fault. He said, trying to save face by passing the blame to Tim, who frowned and furrowed his brow in disbelief. You motherfucker. We meet again, Vegas said, smiling at me. I raised my eyebrows and looked at him with suspicion. Judging from his uniform, it seemed like I'd seen him wearing yesterday. He wasn't a student here, and yet here he was in front of the sports science building. I was confident he wasn't a third year or fourth year student either. I'm just here to meet my friend who goes here, Vegas exclaimed. Can you read my mind? How did you know? I was suspicious. John and Tam were still bickering with each other behind me. And are you? Vegas asked, raising a brow. Porsche, I answered flatly. Oh, I'm Tim, and you can call him a douchebag. Tim introduced himself to Vega. It's John, My name is John, okay? John complained loudly. Vegas laughed out loud. So, you studied sports science, Mr. Porsche? He asked, turning away from my friends to look at me again. Why? He was friendly and polite, and he didn't seem to be a threat. I decided, you know what, answering him wouldn't hurt. Yeah. What a coincidence! I'm fucking lost, Vegas said. Where are you headed? I can show you the way, I offered. Seeing as we were familiar with each other, more importantly, I almost slapped his younger brother, but he let that slide, so honestly, he's cool in my book. I felt like I was reasonable for me to just, you know what, just offer him the courtesy. I'm looking for P. Beam. He's a third year student here. Do you know him, Mr. Porsche? Vega's politeness made me itch a little. It had been ages since someone addressed me so respectfully. Oh my god. He's cute and respectful. This is obviously a fake act, but I'm gonna just eat it up. Yum yum yum. You don't have to call me Mister, just call me Porsche, I said. Vegas kept looking at me with a smile plastered on his face. So you're looking for a P-beam? I continued. He's probably in the gym. Walk along the side of this building and just turn left. You'll see him there. I pointed down the path. There was only one third-year named Beam that I know of, and I knew him well. You said his name so respectfully. Which year are you in university? Dom asked, nosy. Fucking nosy, Dom. What are you, me? Hee. Have you ever seen John and me in the same room? No, didn't think so. Oh, I'm a second year, Vegas replied. It looks like we're in the same year, huh? The minor clan guy was incredibly different from the men of the major clan. Maybe I should switch sides. Vegas was friendly and spoke politely, unlike a certain Kin, who was an absolute asshole. By the way, that's exactly what it says here. I am not making this up. He literally says, who was an asshole, and Tankung, who was a lunatic. I couldn't believe they were cousins. They shared DNA. Sorry. Right, we're sophomores too, Tim answered, smiling back at Vegas. Vegas' phone rang, so he excused himself to answer the call. Now that I'd helped Vegas find P-Beam, I turned to talk to my friends about the food stall behind the university. Where are you guys going? Vegas asked, returning to our group after disappearing for a while. Oh, yeah, we're going just gonna find something to eat, Tim said. Oh, I'm hungry too, Vegas quickly replied. I looked at him skeptically. PBM ditched me, he added. He said he had a practice session. I felt a pang of guilt hearing that PBM was practicing hard while I was slacking up to go eat. And then the guilt left very fast. I frowned at him slightly. Vegas was a rich kid like Kin. He might not be comfortable eating street food. Well then, I'll go with you guys, Vegas told Tim. He then turned to me. Why are you looking at me like that, Porsche? We're gonna eat, at a cheap place. Is that okay? I asked, raising my brow. Sure. I'm just like anyone else. I can eat it wherever. Look, I'm starving, he said, giving me a pleasant smile. I couldn't believe it. This guy should get a DNA test because there's no way he was related to In. The difference was night and day. Let's go then. I'm hungry, John exclaimed, walking ahead of us. We were too lazy to drive and look for a parking spot, so we parked near the building and rode the university shuttle bus. Vegas sat casually with my friends and chatted energetically with them. He turned to speak to me now and then, and I responded with a mix of a smile and a polite answer. His impeccable manners and friendly demeanor made me feel like I constantly had to be on my best behavior. Let's get something from Aunt Sally's. Their fried pork and rice is amazing. Tim went up to the street food vendor and requested 4 menus for us. Want to order now? That's quite a unique name, Vegas noted, looking puzzled. Oh, we made it up. It's short for salmonella. You jackass. Tim, John, and I laughed when we saw Vegas' confused expression. Is it really that bad? Vegas looked over the stall. I followed his eyes and Aunt Sally in the middle of whipping the cutting board with a dry rag and going straight to the pork afterwards. I chuckled. But it's delicious. Gave a thumbs up. Vegas smiled sheepishly, trying not to look at the auntie, who was currently violating food safety practices. Are you okay with eating here? I asked Vegas. Look, are you sure? We're not holding you hostage. I swear. This gun is just a coincidence that it's right here next to me. He looked up from the menu and chuckled. Yeah, I wouldn't want to miss out on Aunt's secret recipe, I guess. Please not be bodily fluids. Please don't be bodily fluids. He ordered and ate it. He ordered and ate in a very unassuming manner, which was a relief. Ken's cousin was nothing like him. It was good to know that Vegas was the black sheep of the family. He was not at all snobby, didn't give me orders, and didn't see me as Ken's subordinate. On the contrary, he treated me like a friend, natural friend. After eating together, we all went our separate ways. Vega flaunted his wealth a little by paying for our food. saying he wanted to express gratitude for allowing him to join us. He was so kind that John and Tim couldn't stop praising him. They kept just glazing him up. See, I know internet slang. Aha. I appreciated him too. If people were nice to me, I returned their kindness. If they were rude, like a certain somebody, I was rude right back. The next day, I attended class as usual. In the afternoon, I went to practice with PB, who practically bowed to me when he saw me enter the gym. After a tiring day, more tiring work awaited, I stood and chanted Buddha's name in my mind for a long time, trying to gather my wits to face that bastard. Tankun, why can't it be Vegas? Before I could even walk into into the house, Tanku shouted at me from the stairs, Porsche! Finally, you're here! Yay! Tanku jumped and grabbed my injured arm and, with full force, making me wince in pain. Ow, 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 ow! Sorry. I forgot you got shot. Yeah. Let's go out together today, said Tanku. Yes, sir, I replied, rubbing my arm. Where are we going? Tangun asked with sparkling eyes. Where do you want to go, Mr. Tangun? I asked. He barely gave me a second to catch my breath. I just got here and you're already making me pay for my sins? Just because I did it doesn't mean I have to pay for the consequences of my own actions. Just because they're my actions. Rude. I'm bored of that lady boys club. Let's go somewhere else. I want to go somewhere more exciting. How about Kaosan Kaosan Road? Um, little note here. It says Kaosan Road is a short street in central Bangkok, famously known as a backpacker's ghetto. The street is filled with cheap hostels, bars, and street vendors that sell food and souvenirs. Ooh, sounds interesting. I want to go there. I mentioned the first place that came to my mind when I thought of, busy nightlife. Yes. Tankun excitedly agreed. I've never heard about it, but I've never been. So, let's go. Was this guy raised in total isolation? He acted like a newborn baby deer stumbling into the outside world for the very first time. Mr. Korn emerged from the conference room like the demon he is. What's with all the noise? Quiet down, I'm working. I quickly raised my hand in a wide gesture to greet him. He acknowledged me with a nod before returning to the meeting room, closing the door behind him. Those minor clan idiots! Duncan exclaimed, not even paying attention to what his father had said. His voice was still just as loud. He even emphasized the words, making the bodyguards around him flinch. Mr. Tankun, please try to be quieter, I pleaded. Porsche, I have a job for you. Tankun lowered his voice and beckoned me to lean in closer, as if there was some secret he wanted to share. Yeah, I replied, leaning in. Today, Biggles and Macau are coming over for a meal. When they let their guard down, grab them, Tenkun said and walked to a desk. He opened the drawer and pulled out a length of rope. Then use this rope and tie them to the mango tree behind the house, he continued. Wait for about 3 days before you let them go. Just let them shrivel up completely out there. Just do it. I frowned, not understanding Tankun's instructions at all. I was so perplexed that he had to shove the hoop in my face. I reluctantly took it. What the hell was this idiot thinking? Well, I said, looking from Tankun's face to the item in my hand. Get it done, okay? Good luck. He didn't wait for me to ask any questions. He just whistled and moseyed up to the second floor. Damn it! I let out a sigh. Why did I have to do this? This was so fucking stupid. I kept the rope in my hand, but I had no intention of following Tankun's order. It was idiotic and unreasonable. How could you just go around tying people up like that? They were people. You couldn't just hang them out to dry like laundry and wait to collect them later. I sighed again, planning to go to the garden to smoke a cigarette and relax. Nicotine always helps me with that. I hadn't been here for like 10 minutes, and Tankun had already given me a headache. Damn. What's up? Pete greeted me. You're back already. Pete stood next to Vegas. Excuse me, moi. I know you two later get something on, but are we about to get bowing? Was there romance in the air? Hmm. Both smoking cigarettes. I was a bit surprised to see Vegas smoking out here with the bodyguards. Oh, Porsche, hi. Vegas greeted me with a warm smile as usual. Please excuse me, Pete said to Vegas, bowing his head slightly. Then he walked over to me with a smile and lightly patted my shoulder. I'm gonna see Mr. Kinn. Are you working today? Vegas asked before taking a drag. Yes, sir, I replied, lighting my cigarette and placing the rope I was holding in a nearby table. Vegas pointed at the rope. What's that for? To hang myself with? I said dryly. Honestly, I was tempted. I was so fed up with Tankun. You are kidding, right? He said with a throaty chuckle. I'd be so sad if you were gone. I frowned slightly. Vegas' words just now seemed a bit strange. What are you doing here? A familiar voice called out. Uh-huh. I froze for a moment. My expression instantly turned into a scowl. Vegas smiled at his cousin. Pekin, I came on here for a smoke, he said. I glanced at Ken and saw that he was still in his school uniform. Fucking loser, sporting his usual cocky expression. Food's ready. Father told me to call you. Get in there already, Ken said, putting his hand in his pocket. He didn't look at me at all. He just stared at Vega. I'm still here, jackass. Can you not see me? Can you see me? Sure, Porsche. Sure. Porsche, I'll see you later. If I pass you by your university, I'll say hi, Vegas said, throwing his cigarette butt into the trash can. He turned to smile at me briefly before walking past Ken. I nodded in response, and he then turned around immediately because I didn't want to look at Ken's face. Since when are you close to Vegas? None of your actual fucking business. I didn't say that, but I thought of it. But hopes and dreams. I felt a chill run down my spine when I realized that Ken had moved in behind me. Fuck off! I snapped, taking a step forward to put some space between us. Turn around and talk to me, Ken said, stepping closer behind me. I growled, or are you scared? He prompted. His taunting words made me take a deep breath and turn to look at him immediately. I'm not scared of you, I barked, pulling away so that I was too close, 'cause no, I'm not gay. You are. Yeah. hmm Someone like you, Ken scoffed. I scowled and stared at him angrily. He was probably just trying to provoke me. I tried to walk past him to leave, but he grabbed my arm. Pain shot through me immediately. Ow! Damn it! I shook my arm away from his hand. He looked a little stunned. Oh yeah, I forgot you're injured, he said guiltily, looking at my arm. I don't know if it'll ever heal. First Kun, now you, always grabbing me by my arm, I growled. And how's it healing? He asked, gently lifting my sleeve. I stood there in surprise for a moment before shaking Kin off again. I didn't know why the hell he had to keep getting up in my business. What's your problem? You're so nosy, fuck. I glared at him. I was tired. I was so fucking tired of Kin and his constant meddling. Pekin, let's go, Vegas called Kin. The two of us turned to look at him. He was standing at a distance, smiling slightly. Oh, you're still here. I saw that you weren't following. Oh, wait, I saw you weren't following, so I came to get you, Vegas said, smiling at Kin. He then glanced at me and smiled even wider. Vegas was taking the annoying bastard away at last. Yay! Okay, let's go. Ken turned around and was about to walk away when he leaned in and whispered in my ear, "Don't forget to take your medicine." I pushed his shoulder away. His face was too close. "Asshole!" I hissed. Ken smiled in satisfaction before walking back into the house. I hated being a bodyguard to this awful house. The sons were deranged. If I ever got the chance, I should offer my bodyguard services to the minor clan. Vegas was friendly, polite, and level-headed. Unlike the kids here, I would be a breeze and I wouldn't have to worry about the bastard kid. Maybe I should beg Vegas to bail me out. We'd make a good partnership. Vegas, why don't you want me? I was nervous and my mind was muddled. I needed to get the hell out of here. Tankung was now hurling a string of curses at me. "Why didn't you go tie them up? How could you let them run around loose?" Tankung shouting filled the room. Mr. Tankung, when would I have had the chance? His father and his bodyguard were here. I weirdly explained. If Tankung could come to his senses, even just a little, maybe just a little, his life would be so much better. Still, you should have found the chance to do it. Damn it! No one ever meets my expectations. Tankut snarled, kicking his couch. The rest of his lackeys lowered their heads. I stared at him and gently shook my head. I was so tired of this fucker. "Mr. Tankun, that's enough. Go take a shower so we can go out," I said. Tankun started to throw things at us, mainly the papers on his desk. I didn't know why he was so enraged. What had the minor clan done to make him this furious? "Next time, you have to make him cry, or I'll make you cry," Tankun shouted. I sighed and looked at him quizzically. His He angrily stomped to his bedroom and slid the glass door shut and forcefully that the other bodyguards flinched. I'm so damn tired," I grumbled. I looked at the shut glass door and put my hands on my hips. Paul patted my shoulder. "Hang in there. Mr. Tankun loses his shit every time the minor clan visits." "Did he ever order you to tie them up?" I asked Paul, Arm, and Jess, who promptly nodded in unison. "Yeah." that's that's basically the initiative to being his bodyguard, I think. Next page. Well, there's a lot of notes here. Sheesh. That's normal. Mr. Tankung always tells us to tie them up, scatter crooked nails on the ground, or smack them in the head. Fuck, man, who'd even dare? They always come with a full squad of bodyguards, Arm said with an exhaustive shake of the head. We disbanded to prepare for our night out. Not long after we were back in one of the family's luxurious vans, Tanko scolded in silence throughout our journey, which spared us from the earache of his shouting. I thought we were going to have carpool karaoke. When we hit Khaosan Road, his eyes sparkled in excitement. "Any recommendations? I want to get drunk, but I want something unusual," Tankun said. I tried to think of something unusual. The most unusual thing in my life is you, Tankun. Eventually, though, I came up with something he definitely never tried before. I led him to a less crowded club with folk songs playing inside. This apparently was unusual enough for Tankun since he looked ecstatic. "Yadong?" By the way, Yadong is Thailand's equivalent of moonshine, a clear spirit infused with different native botanical that is typical consumed by the working class. It is also often sold as a herbal remedy. I'm gonna look for an image and share it with you guys. But yes, Yadong! Pijas mumbled, immediately leaping in front of the bar to place an order. Tankun intently eyed the row of jars and ordered the bartender to let him try every single one. "Take it slowly, Mr. Tankun," Paul cautioned as Tankun downed shot after shot of Magrat Magatoprong, which here's a little note says Magatoprong. I hopefully I'm saying this right. Translates to English as prancing stallion. Is a yadong infused with Gratoprong herb, Ficus fovelata. Yeah, I definitely know what that is. Yeah, totally. Tankun popped a pickled grape into his mouth right after wincing gladly at the sourness before smiling again. As Tankun started to get drunk, he got up and swayed to the music. All we could do was stay close and keep an eye on him. There are tons of other clubs around. Would you be interested in any of those? I asked Tankun. I want to move on to a livelier place. The upbeat music in this joint wasn't bad, but they weren't a lot of customers. Yeah, let's go. Tankun pushed my shoulder and walked us out of the club. The other bodyguards, who were also getting tipsy, followed us down the street, dancing to the music emanating from every club we passed. I don't know how to beatbox. Why was I trying? Not long after, one shop in particularly caught Tankun's attention, probably due to its vibrant decoration. He rushed up to the place, which turned out to be a hair braiding booth. Tankun was fascinated by the dreadlocks and cornrows made with bright hair extensions. A man placed us on his way. A man passed us on his way out with his hair braided in purple strands. Tankun's eyes lit up, praising the hairstylist's excellency. Hey, all of you, let's get our hairs done like that, Tankun orders. We quickly shook our heads in refusal, making him frown. If you don't do it, I'll tear this place down. The shop owner recoiled at Tankun's outburst and looked at us as if to ask what this moral's problem was. Mr. Tankun, we need to look professional for our jobs, P. explained. You work for me. What's the problem? I want to see your hairs in bright colors. It's cheerful. Tankun crossed his arms so stubborn that we sighed in frustration. Mr. Tankun, please. We're too old for this. Like I'm 30, I think. I muttered, do it or shave your head tomorrow morning. Tankun demanded. Tankun was so conceited. I wanted to kick his ass. The bodyguard unwillingly had braids put in except for me. I said that my university wouldn't allow it. Arm and Paul shot me jealous glances. You're on your own, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm I'm so sorry. I wouldn't join you. I'm so sorry. I would never join you in that. Rustin piss. I barely held in my laughter at the results. Orange braids were green, poles were yellow, and Peaches were red. I really felt bad for Peaches, who was the oldest of all of us. He was maybe 40. I wondered if the poor bastard was married, and if he was, whether his family knew the physical and mental torture his job has been putting on him through. Sankun had picked different colors at random, and his hair was a jumble of multicolored braids. Our group continued down the street, so the clown posse continued. Passerbys gave us funny looks, like we were a gang of punks from in the streets. Correction, we were a gang of clowns. Honk honk, motherfuck. I sighed. I really couldn't. I really felt for the rest of them. F in the chats. I took Tankung into a club teeming with Thais and foreigners alike, ordering a bucket cocktail for him to try. Here you go. This would get him hammered for sure. I was able to keep myself from getting too wasted even though Tankun demanded round after round after round of bottom-up shots. In stark contrast to me, Tankun looked absolutely plastered, like a kid who had just discovered the joys of alcoholism. Seeing there was nothing to worry about, I stepped outside, grabbed some chick's hand, and led her away. I didn't even know her name, but she's been dancing next to me and had rubbed up on me suggestively multiple times. So you know what? She's getting it. She looked pretty good and had a nice body, and it'd been ages since I got laid. I couldn't pass this opportunity. Look at this opportunity right in front of me. I pushed her planked body into the men's bathroom and locked us in the stall. People were constantly walking in and out, but no one seemed to care. There was more than one couple hooking up in here after all. I quickly buried my face in the curves of her pale neck. Should I be reading this? Yeah, I should. Sucking and nipping hard on her skin. In a place like this, we had to be quick and quiet. Besides trying to stay silent while we went at it, added to the excitement. Sex was usually pretty noisy, but we wouldn't let people out let people outside know what was happening in here, even though they obviously fucking knew. My hand slid under her dress. Again, should I be reading this? Yes. To fondle her breasts, our lips never parting. Then she pulled away a bit, hesitating when she moved to my neck. Can I take this off? She asked, reaching for my bandages. I stopped her immediately. I didn't want her to see the red hickeys underneath. Damn you, Kin. No need. Can I fuck you now? Oh my god, he's so romantic. I asked, reaching down to unzip my pants. I was whore to the knee as hell and needed to get some damn relief. I shoved her little hand into my underwear to feel my hard on. It felt good. I lifted one of her legs and fished around in my pocket for a condiment. Every night I worked at Madame York's place or went out clubbing, I always had one in hand, just in case. I was tearing the wrapper when the chick's phone rang. Ring! She stopped kissing me. Hold on, she said. She dug the phone out of her jeans and took to take a look. Her expression filled with dread. Be quiet, it's my husband. He's calling. Dun dun. Impatient, I dropped her leg and slightly stared at her panicked face. Babe, you here? I'm in the restroom. Be out in a minute, she replied before turning to look apologetically at me. Sorry, sweetie, my husband's here. You cheater! I sighed disheartedly and watched as my little Porsche went limp and my boys started to ache. I was frustrated that I couldn't get the release I desperately wanted. That woman tidied her dress and walked out of the toilet after apologizing to me one last time. I'm seriously sorry. Sorry. I looked at the door of the stall again once she left. My desire was fading, and it wasn't like I could jerk off or anything while the guy next to us was puking his guts out. Plus, someone was calling my name. My arousal had deflated completely. Rip, tiny Porsche. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Da, 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 da. Porsche, are you here? Arm yelled. Mr. Tankon is totally wasted. We need to head back. Yeah, I replied, forever sad. Hurry up, Tankun is making himself sick. I yanked my hair violently in frustration. This was gonna drive me crazy. I stayed in the stall until I'd calmed down, then went out into the club to carry Tankun to the van. Back at the house, Tankun was still so drunk that we had to carry him inside by his legs and arms. I really wanted to wake his father up to show how awful his eldest son looked right now. We're done cleaning him up. You can get some rest. I think everything else is taken care of, Paul said as he tucked a blanket around Tankun's chest. Tankun was out cold, lying as still as a dog. I was afraid he'd drunk himself to death. I put fingers against his nose to make sure he was still breathing, which made Arm laugh. Saying that there was nothing left for me to do, I made my way toward the garden, thinking of having a smoke before going home to play games with my friends. However, as I was leaving the house, Pete walked up to me. It looked like he had gone out and returned in a hurry. Pete shoved the brown paper bag in my hand. Hey, can you take this to Mr. Kin for me? He said in a rush. I'm about to pee my fucking pants, hurry, please. Chris was His restlessness made me understand immediately. Pete sped into the house like he really needed to take a piss. But what did he give? Just give me. What is this? What was so important that he had to give it to that jerk myself? Why me? What a fucking pain. I didn't want to see that bastard's face. It's urgent. Pete shouted in the distance between before I lost sight of him. I looked at the bag in my hand, then to the second floor, taking a deep breath before heading up to Ken's room. I might as well get it over with. None of Ken's bodyguards were around when I arrived at his door. It was really 2 in the morning, so maybe they were just, taking a break. I wonder what that asshole wanted in the middle of the night. Did he needed sleeping pills? What's that? Why Pete kept telling me to hurry? I held my breath opening the door without knocking like always. I never knocked, okay? It's Kin's room. I never planned to, by the way. However, I soon realized this was a mistake. Uh-oh. I came to a screeching halt, frozen in shock at what I saw. Time stopped and 2 pairs of eyes stared at me in stunned silence. That jerkin was in his bathroom, sitting on a sofa with a petite and completely naked guy on his lap. Huh? They were tangled in an embrace, and Kim's face was buried in the other guy's chest. It was obvious that they had been doing this before I'd interrupted them. In that moment, all my restless thoughts and doubts ceased. My hands went weak, and the brown paper bag dropped on the floor. I looked down to where the bag fell and saw a blue wrapper tumble out. I knew the brand very well. They were condiments! I jolted in horror and slowly looked up at Kin, who smirked at me and said nothing. Try to knock this time, said the guy in his lap. He looked familiar, like someone I'd seen on TV. Pete asked me to bring this, I said, pointing to the stuff on the floor. Not knowing what to do, I fled the room with a pounding heart, startled and perturbed by what I see. My flowers couldn't be more gassed. Gasted. My flowers were gasted, bro. I rushed downstairs to the garden, feeling the blood drain from my face. So, how was it? Pete asked, smiling and taking a puff of his cigarette. Shit, Pete! I blurred when I saw him laughing. I hope that answers answers things. Pete said half jokingly. Pete had finally answered the question that had nagged at me for days. Did Kid do those things to me because he was gay? Or just because he liked to irritate me? Is he homosexual or an annoying bastard? The answer is a secret third. Both! Everything was clear to me now. My mind went blank. You could have just told me, I said, still in shock. You wouldn't have believed me, man. Pete laughed. I hated this. Pete clearly wanted me to get an eyeful. How could you even know what my question was? I asked. Do come on. You asked? Just about every single soul in this place. Plus, I know more than you think. Pete's gaze moved to my neck. I gulped my hair standing on end. All this time, Kin sucked and kissed my neck and said weird things to me. It wasn't to piss me off. Kin was gay? Fucking hell, gay people are real? Porsche, you dumbass! That was why he was fine with me wearing just my boxes around him. Fuck! I was such an idiot. A fool! Why didn't I figure it out? I didn't figure this out before. Shit! So... Oh wait, no. So, I prompted Pete. Mr. Kin likes men, okay? Pete said in a teasing tone, giggling. I didn't know what else Pete knew, but this was enough to stun me. Kin, you bastard! You wanted to fuck me this entire time? Gay people are real? I couldn't stop thinking about it. The image of Kin and his lover kept flashing through my head. Damn it! Had I unknowingly put myself in a compromising position with Kin? I kept thinking about that day I got drunk and slept on his bed. The kiss that night was one thing, but the next morning Ken had made me touch his crotch. I could still remember exactly how it felt. His dick was hard, but I thought it was normal for a guy to have morning wood when he was next to another man. Duh. Shit. Was Ken into moi? So maybe I was, maybe I was just self-absorbed. Just because he's gay doesn't mean he has to like me. Like, like to think that Ken had the hots for me personally. Funny. His partners were probably models and celebrities. Oh hell, I just realized how those and friends visiting Ken every night were probably his lovers, men who looked like they'd been through war after a night with Kid. Uh, rest in peace. Thank you for your cervix. Ken was a real psycho. Couldn't he tell that I was straight, hetero, as straight as a noodle? Straight heterosexualidad. I'm so straight though. He teased me relentlessly, but did he do that with every man in his vicinity? Pete must have experienced some of it. Damn it, Ken had me more paranoid than ever. Somewhere else. I rode my motorcycle back to Ken's house after class. I took the scenic route because, the scenery. I finally reached the gate of hell. I was turning into the alley when a black car swerved from the opposite lane and cut in front of me. You bastard! I barked immediately, but my wheels skilled across the pavement. Luckily, I kept a hold of both myself and the motorcycle, managing not to crash in the ground. Learn how to fucking drive! I yelled, kicking out and my bike can, my bike's kickstand and taking off my helmet. I raked my hair angrily before storming toward this car. A young man in a black shirt and pants rushed out to check the front of his car. Is my car okay? Your car is fucking fine. You should be asking if I'm okay, I shouted. This guy clearly had no common sense. He was the one who'd cut into my lane. Loser. Why weren't you more careful? He asked, walking over to stare directly at me. It was your fault, asswipe. I put my hands on my waist. What kind of shitty driving was that? If I was going any faster, I'd be saying hi to the devil in hell. Let's talk it at the police station. Then, okay? Suddenly, the guy came up to me, grabbed my arm, and dragged me towards his car. I was a little confused before I forcefully shook off his grip. Why the hell do we need to go to the cops? Your car is obviously fine. It sounded like you wanted to hurt me. Okay? So we're going to the police station, get in. He snapped, snatching my injured arm. At this point, he squeezed and held tight, and I couldn't escape. Ah, what the hell? Let me go! My brows furrowed as I struggled against him. The way he kept trying to force me into his car felt kind of shady. Are you trying to kidnap me? Get in! He growled. His face was intimidating, and he started pulling me with him. Using both hands, he forcefully dragged me to his car, screaming louder at me. Get in the car! Don't make me hurt you! Let me go! I kicked his side hard, but before I could throw my fist into his face, a voice interrupted. Porsche, is everything alright? It was Pete, the bastard who was trying to haul me into his car, stopped and stared at him. This little bitch cut me in my lane and tried to drag me into his car, I told Pete furious. He's saying he'll take me to the police station. Pete, with a popsicle in his hand, walked up to the guy and glared at him. I noticed some staff from a nearby convenience store and some other onlookers gathering around. Some of them even had their phones up to take pictures. What the hell's your problem? Pete asked hurriedly. Damn it, fine. I'll let you go. Ride better next time, the man said irritably before getting into his car and driving off. That bastard was crazy. I should have been the one telling him to drive better. He cut into my lane and tried to drag me into his car. I suspected it was intentional and not an accident, but maybe I was overthinking things. What are you doing here, by the way? I asked Pete, who was tucking on his popsicle and craning his neck to looking at the black car as it sped away. Right. I was getting something to eat at the mini mart when I heard a bunch of noise, so I came out to take a look. Pete answered, showing me a bag from the convenience store. How did you get here? I asked him. He was dressed in casual attire. He was probably on the same shift as me. On foot. The store is right around the corner. Are you okay? He asked as he gave me a once over. I'm fine. Get on. I revved the engine and let Pete sit behind me. I rolled straight into the alley and turned to the giant house. You sure you're good? Pete repeated once I parked my motorcycle in the garage. Yeah, I'm good. Then I'll go get changed, he said, walking along the side of the house to the back where our rooms were. I sighed, running my hand through my hair and checking my reflection in my side mirror before turning around to enter my own personal hell. Oops! I walked right into a slim figure with a happy smile. He would have looked handsome if it wasn't for that shitty hairdo. He'd come to annoy me from the front porch. I'm so happy you're here, Tankun said. He stroked my motorcycle and walked around to check out each side. Wow, you ride such a cool motorcycle, I said quietly. Yes, Mr. Tankun. Are you sober? I asked plainly, but he ignored my question. Cool, so cool. I want to be cool. Teach me how to ride. Push, please, 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 please. He put his long legs across my motorcycle, looking at me with pleading eyes. This was going to be a problem. I was rather possessive of my motorcycle, so what would I do if this moron tipped my bag over, huh? Kun, come here, you little shit! Mr. Corn's voice came to my rescue. Tan Kun made a moody face before stepping away from my motorcycle. He turned and sighed me. He turned and signaled me with his hand, beckoning me to follow. Would I ever get time to relax before my shift? What's up, father? Tankun exclaimed, resting his hands on his waist and staring at his father in annoyance. Mr. Corn sat at the table by the garden with Arm, Paul, and P.J.S., who were all staring at the ground. What have you done to them? Mr. Corn shouted, but Tankun didn't even flinch. It's cool, right, father? Gangster style, yo! Tankun covered his mouth and cackled a bit. I bit my lip to hold on my own laughter. Hold it in. Damn it. I'm getting a headache. Who told you to get this hairstyle? You too, Kun. Your hair hurts to look at. I thought you were a parrot. Mr. Corn pressed his fingers to his temples and wearily shook his head. Why, father? People will know we're together. Four dudes, four dudes, four dudes. We come together. Four dudes. Oh, a little note here says Sekon, I think that's how you say it, means four dudes. It's a song from the Thai comedy movie Yam Yaso Thorn. If I think yeah, I'll look up a video. Maybe we can have a little reference here. Um, I'll probably put it right now, and if I did put it, banger, I guess. But yes, I haven't heard it yet, so I'm just gonna assume this is how it goes. Four dudes, four dudes, four dudes. We come together, four dudes. Yeah. Tankun cheerfully sang. If I were Mr. Corn, look, I'd write Tankun right out of my will. And to think you all let him do it. You especially, Jess. You're not young anymore. Think of your wife and sons, Mr. Corn said. It's cool, right? I'll take you to get your hair done too, father. Yeah, orange looks so nice. Tankun clung to his father's arm and put his colorfully braided hair against his father's head. Fix your hair, all of you. There's a big party this Sunday, and I won't let you look like that for it. It's embarrassing, Mr. Corn said, shaking himself off from a giggling Tankum before glancing at me. How did you manage to get out of it, Porsche? Mr. Corn asked. I smiled. I felt sorry for Mr. Corn, but I also found it hilarious. It was a shame that Mr. Corn's handsome son was a total fucking moron. My university, my uni- my university forbids it, sir, I said. Way to go, kiddo. Anyway, take those things out, all of you. You look like a damn flock of parrots. It's making me dizzy. Father. Okay. Hear me out. I want to ride a motorcycle. Porsche rides one. It's so cool. Tan completed and tugged at his father's arm. Mr. Corn glanced at me again. You'll get hurt, he said. Please. I'll just ride around the yard, okay? Let Porsche teach me. Tankud begged, rubbing his colorful head on Mr. Corn's arm. Do whatever you want, but don't leave the property, Mr. Corn weakly replied. Are you worried? You dumbass. I'm embarrassed. Go do whatever you want to do. Teach him porch. It's better than letting him watch TV all day and abuse his bodyguards. I smiled and softly nodded at Mr. Corn. What's that, father? The speaker was a tall, slim man of Chinese descent. He bore a resemblance to Tang Kun and Kin. Father, who is he? Tang Kun pointed to the man who burst out laughing at Tang Kun's hairstyle. Oh shit, your hair, dude. The man wheezed in laughter. Fuck off! Don't mess with me, you son of a beep! Tanka stood with his hands on his hips and swore at the newcomer, who stopped laughing and frowned. Kun, why did you just call your mother a beach? Mr. Corn looked up to Chai Tankung. Oh, you getting whooped tonight? Tell him whose son he really is, father. His brothers both have Western traits. He's the only. Excuse-moi, I'm not saying that. No, no, I am not saying that. Excuse me, I am very not Asian nor Chinese enough to say that. Cool. He said the C slur, but I mean, yeah, Tankun. Excuse me, moi. No. He said he's the only C word, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's a slur. I'm not saying that. Continuing on, Tankun spat that word. We have the same mother, you dickhead. With that, I finally realized that this man was Kim, the younger son of the family. I never had the chance to meet him. I don't believe you, you son of a bitch. Bastard! Kim is the son of a beach! Son of a beach! Brrrr! Cancun. Why does that sound kind of hard? Tankun ran around the garden as Kim chased him, cursing all the while. Then he grabbed my wrist and pulled me to the garage. Don't come near me! I'll fucking clobber you! Kim yelled, pointing at Tankun before disappearing into the garden. Okay, I'll teach you how to ride. I told Tankun I couldn't be bored. I couldn't be bothered to argue with him, and I wasn't like I could defy his orders anyway, so I picked up the helmet and pushed my motorcycle out the garage. Mr. Tankun, you ignite the engine here and the accelerator in here, I told him. Don't push it too hard. Balance yourself like you're riding a bike, like a normal bicycle. Tankun sat on my bike. He paid attention to everything I said, so I let him ride. Luckily, the yard was so big he could just ride around in a circle. This is easy. Go slowly. It has a high sorry. It has a high horsepower. I said, following after him. I wasn't worried about him. I was worried about my motorcycle. That bike was my baby. You're my baby. I'd kick his ass if he tipped it over. Hey, Ken, am I cool? Tankun said, making me look up. Ken was leaning against the pole by the front door, watching Tankun ride my bike around. I quickly shifted my eyes back to Tankun. I didn't dare make eye contact with Ken. What the hell are you doing? Ken asked his elder brother. I'm doing the laundry. What does it look like? Tankun retorted, still riding around and beginning to accelerate. I stopped trailing behind him and just stood and watched him and said, Ken, Kim, Mr. Korn, and my fellow bodyguards joined the crowd. Can I do a wheelie, father? Tankun asked. His father shook his head in his approval. No. It looked like Tankun was having too much fun. I nervously watched my bike, not noticing that Ken had come to stand next to me. He was right behind my back in mere seconds, startling me. I quickly took a step away from him. Is your arm feeling better? He asked, but I pretended not to hear. Mr. Tankun, that's the turn signal! I shouted as Ken shifted closer to me. What's the matter? Don't tell me. Are you avoiding me? Ken pressed. I kept ignoring him. I still couldn't, get those images out of my head. Being near him felt dangerous. And a little bit dangerous, my friend. Did you guys notice I have ADHD yet? Or am I just have to make more signs so you guys can know? And I had no idea what kind of face he was making right now. How do I stop? How do I brake? Tankun hollered. It brakes like a regular bicycle, Mr. Tankun. I shouted back. Everyone around us giggled. The most amused seemed to be Kim, who laughed and swore at Tankun from time to time. How come you aren't talking back? Have you gone mute? Normally you'd be slinging curses at me by now. Kim chucked at my ear. Sorry, I thought it was Kim screaming. I said that in a screaming manner. Just assume I said that calmly, please. Lie to yourselves. Go ride a bike. Go ride a bounce bike, dumbass. Kim roared. Kim is a son of a beat. Tanku jeered at Kim, as he rode. Kim took off his slipper, ready to throw them at Tanku. Let me see your arm, Kim said, moving to hold my arm. My hair stood on end, knowing that he was gay and liked to touch me. I tried to brush him off, but he grasped my arm tightly and hurt. Let go, I said, attempting to pry his arm away from my arm. He refused to listen to me and raised my sleeve, looking surprised. But what he saw beneath. Why is it so red? He demanded. It's because of all of you! You keep grabbing me by the fucking arm. Also, that asshole cutting into my leg earlier had dug into a little squeaky little fingers right into my wound. Is this because I grabbed you yesterday? Ken asked softly. Mm-hmm. Yes. I grubbed. I wanted to pull all the blame on him so he stopped touching me. It was disgusting. I'll take care of this, Ken said, leaning in. I drew back immediately, but he still held my arm. Leave me alone, please, I exclaimed, and pulled my arm back, but he wouldn't let go. I glanced around. No one was looking at us. They were all laughing at Tanku. Where the f*** the brakes? Where? Good afternoon, Pekin, Vegas greeted Ken. I turned to look at him. Hey, Vegas, Ken called and shifted his attention to his cousin. I finally got a chance to pull my arm back. Vegas gave me a big smile. What are you guys up to? It seems fun. Vegas looked around and put his hands together in a wide gesture at Mr. Korn, who happened to turn around and notice him. Tango was learning how to ride a motorcycle. What are you up to? Coming all this way here? Mr. Korn replied. I stepped back a little, but Ken blocked me. I was stuck there. I'm bringing you the document for this coming Sunday, B. Corn. The I'm sorry, what? Oh, B, a little note here, by the way. B refers to an older brother of one's father, as in the Teochew dialect. We're learning stuff. Yay. But yeah, Bighorn, Vega said as he gave Kin and me a questioning look. He frowned when he saw Kin and I acting like kids. When I moved left, Kin blocked my path to the left. When I moved right, he blocked my right. It had been going on like this for a while, and it was starting to piss me off. Well, there is no need to come by yourself. You could have just, let your men bring it here, Ken said to his cousin as he continued to engage me in psychological warfare. No matter what way I tried to escape, Ken blocked me. Shit, Ken, I swore. I didn't want him to embarrass himself in front of the minor clan. I'm just passing through. You and Porsche seem quite close, Pekin. Vegas grinned while keeping his eyes on Ken and me. I'd like to get close to him, Ken whispered. I didn't know if Vegas heard him, but I did. I looked up to see him holding in laughter. Move your brother. Can't stop the fucking motorcycle. I need to take a look. I hissed. Vegas still had his eyes on us, and Ken had no intention of stopping his relentless teasing. If his father hadn't been there, I would have trampled him. I hadn't pushed Ken away yet when I heard Tankun yell, "Grrrr! Vegas, why the hell are you here?" Tankun increased his speed and fixed his discontent gaze at Vegas. Help, help, he could. Hey, wait, Pico, ah! Mr. Tankun, don't go to hell! Boom, thud. Everyone stood in shock, including Kin and me. We gazed at the water fountain in the middle of the garden. A chuckle escaped Kim, and everyone joined in the laughter. No, Tankun had turned the motorbike to hit Vegas, who dodged him. Tankun then lost control of the bike. The motorcycle hit the side of the fountain, and Tankun toppled into the pond. The bike now leaned against the fountain with the engine still running. No matter how sad I was at seeing my baby in such a state, I couldn't stop laughing, honestly. At Tankun with his head dunked in the water. What goes around comes around, you fucker! Kim said, laughing uncontrollably. Kim burst into laughter too. I had never seen that side of him. I was surprised there was some part of Kim that seemed normal. It turned out he could smile and laugh just like his brothers. Mr. Corn, too, had to wipe his tears of laughter away. Pull and arm rushed to pull Takung out of the water. Kim, you dickhead, shut up. You're supposed to support me. Tanku shouted at his younger brother before glaring harshly at Vegas, who was laughing just as hard as everyone else. Right? I forgot. He said, Vegas, why on earth would you laugh at my brother? I'm the only one who's allowed to do it. I can't do this. Kim began to laugh again. He could. If you like to learn how to swim instead of riding a motorbike, okay, do it. You could have said something. Vegas tipped. Are you are you hurt? Should we check for a concussion? Tankut couldn't hold back his rage, and his father had to intervene. That's enough, okay? Inside all of you, Vegas. Stay and have a meal with me, okay? Mr. Korin led everyone into the house along with Tankun, who kept screaming, Why did you invite him? Yes, B, Vega said. By the way, Porsche, I passed by your university today. I bought fried pork and rice for you from Aunt Sally's shop. I heard you like it. Vegas held the bag out to me. Kinn did not follow his father into the house, staying to stare at Vegas and me. Oh, thanks, bruh. I took the bag and cracked a smile. Vegas was really nice. This house usually served spicy food and vegetables that I didn't like. Vegas somehow knew what I needed. Get inside already, Kinn said, his voice ice cold. I saw Vegas smirk and walk into the house. I sighed. Cancun had been so chaotic and it never seemed to end. I took my motorcycle, thankfully still in one piece. Thank you, hallelujah. Back to the garage before walking to the staff mess hall. I could finally relax. I was, no kidding, exhausted. And that was the end of chapter 14 of KinnPorsche. Oh my god, we're finally gonna be at the end of volume 1. Oh my god. Again, it seems like just yesterday I was beginning to read this and we're almost at the end. Ah. But yes. If you guys have been enjoying my reading, like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have not been following, my reading, shame on you. But I do have an entire playlist if you guys want, you know, curious about chapters 1 through 13. Hmm. They are there. I'm also reading other books. If you guys are curious about them, they also have their respected little playlists. So yeah, with all that being said, have a good day, night, wherever you are, however you are, and bye.